Hello, I'm Clyde, and today we're reviewing one of the hot new cards from the Space-Time Smackdown expansion. It's Lucario. Lucario has an insane ability called Fighting Coach, which gives your fighting Pokemon plus 20 damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. Please note that this only applies to active Pokemon, so unfortunately it doesn't work with Hitmonlee. This is going to be a long one since we're featuring 3 decks, so buckle up your seatbelts. The most notable pro is that it allows you to hit certain HP thresholds, enabling you to reach damage levels that wouldn't be available otherwise, from 80 damage to 100 damage, or at 130 to 150, killing most Pokemon. Cons is that Lucario's retreat cost is 2, so if you start with Riolu and then have to evolve into Lucario, you should have a retreat cost reducer to add another energy to one of your hitters. Another downside of Lucario right now is the current meta involves sitting on the bench with your hitters while they hide behind tanks, most notably Dredigan. This makes it hard to take advantage of Lucario's ability without taking a lot of damage in return. So probably in the future, Lucario might be better. Since the decks I will be featuring have different ratio for their basics, most importantly these three, I will be discussing them more in depth. Hitmonchan is the first go-to for Lucario because it is a basic fighting Pokemon that can take advantage of plus 20 damage while also having a high HP, making it deal 50 damage. This allows it to hit a Dredigan or 3 hit a 150 HP Pokemon. You usually include at least one Hitmonchan in any Lucario list. It is also the ideal starting basic since we want to protect Riolu that will evolve into Lucario later on, and don't want to start with Marshadow if we run. Hitmonlee, although it's good, is a little hard to justify in a Lucario list because it doesn't work with Lucario's ability. One of Hitmonlee's main roles now is to damage the bench and then pull it out with Cyrus to finish it up with one of your other Pokemon. However, since the Pokemon is already damaged, Lucario's ability may be overkill and sometimes not needed at all. It is still a good tech to run, mind you, to run due to the stall meta, but then again, why are we even running Lucario, right? So this is one of the problems with Lucario. Due to the Hitmonlee's Cyrus playstyle being quite effective actually, this is one of the reasons why Lucario may not be a good card to run right now. Marshadow is harder to include in a Lucario list due to the limited number of basic Pokemon we can use, especially since we also have Riolu. Typically, you don't want to start with Riolu because you want to maintain Lucario's ability as much as possible, which makes things awkward because we'll be having a lot of basics we don't want to start with. We have Riolu, then we have Marshadow, and then we have a bit of a small number of basics. Additionally, it's also harder to justify Marshadow in a Lucario list because Lucario already addresses the damage issues that Marshadow used to provide. So it's still good to run Marshadow even with Lucario, but probably in the decks that lack more damage like the Aerodactyl one. Alright, so now down to the decks. We're featuring an Aerodactyl deck with Lucario. Lucario's ability helps Aerodactyl deal 100 damage, letting you one-shot Dredigan. So this is probably one of the most important use of Lucario. We're running Hitmonchan as a basic starter to weaken the enemies a bit while waiting for Marshadow or Aerodactyl. There will be times where you will load energy for Aerodactyl right away if you have X speed already. We're running Marshadow in this deck because the deck doesn't have too much damage, so you will still need to 2-hit most big enemies. While other lists would run Leap, I would prefer running X speed since sometimes you want to go straight into Aerodactyl, so at least you can retreat while using another supporter like Research. The Giant Cape is to help protect Aerodactyl since its 140 HP can be vulnerable to a lot of big hitters right now, so making it 160 will be harder for your opponent. The good thing about this deck is Aerodactyl's ability will make it difficult for your opponent to evolve, especially if you knock out their tank like Dredigan. With the help of Cyrus and Sabrina as well, this strategy becomes even more effective. As I mentioned, the deck does lack some damage even with Lucario's help. However, due to Aerodactyl's ability, their active Pokemon will most of the time be small. Note that Aerodactyl is an EX card, so if you lose it, you can't afford another knockout. So sometimes using Aerodactyl last might be better. The next deck is a Rampardos Lucario hybrid. This might be the best deck out of the three due to Rampardos being able to take down most Pokemon with its high damage, especially with the help of Lucario's ability. So it will be 150. We don't run Mara Shadow here since Rampardos can take out anything, so we have Hitmonchan instead. Running one Hitmonlee in place of one Hitmonchan can also work for more flexibility. We're running two communications because Rampardos is a stage 2 Pokemon and we tend to rely on getting it online as soon as possible. Otherwise, we won't have enough hitters. I think the most important thing about the deck is that even if Rampardos takes down a Dradigal, it's self-inflicted and the recall damage from Dradigan will reduce its HP to 80, making it vulnerable. Because of this, I think ditching Lucario for Mara Shadows is the best option. So I also tried that deck and it is better, and focusing on the Hitmonlee Cyrus playstyle while letting Rampardos finish them up. So at least you know that Rampardos is doing the damage for the most important Pokemon. The final list is a Gallade Lucario list. Gallades with the potential high damage from its attack and paired with Lucario lets you finish most Pokemon, and also you have 170 HP to tank some attacks. We're running the new routes so that we can hide it, so we can evolve it into Gallade later on. Also running the new Curlia so that we can attack just in case with its one colorless energy. Do note that they are still psychic, so they won't take advantage of Lucario's ability. Then we are running the Hitmonlee Cyrus combo here. That's why only one Hitmonlee. Only reason is only one, so that Poke communication will be more consistent on finding Gallade. Hitmonlee is so we can bypass Dradigan since Gallade doesn't align well with Dradigan. So we go straight into the back with the help of Cyrus. We are running 2x speed since most of the time you will just put Gallade in the active zone as soon as you can. You would also notice the 5 Pokemon in this list don't benefit from Lucario, which is kind of a waste. That's why I believe probably the best version of this deck might not be running Lucario, and it will make even the deck even more consistent. Although you will lack some damage threshold since the average is kind of like 110 to 130 damage. So it is kind of sad if you ask me since Lucario is cool and all. And that's it. That might be my longest explanation on a guide yet. Let's dive into the gameplay. So we're going second, and started off with Hitmonchan, the best start with this deck, and we're fighting Celebi. So luckily they started with Celebi and not Executor or something. Also, they're running Superior, and they have a Rocky Helmet, which is kind of bad actually. Although we have Old Ember and Riolu, so this is quite a good hand. I attack with Hitmonchan because I can afford to take the 20 damage hit, so we can weaken this Celebi a bit and kill it with aerodactyl. They will probably retreat this Celebi for that Executor. So we're going to attack again just in case they don't want to retreat it, so Aerodactyl can finish it. We don't have Lucario yet, so I don't have the assurance. So they retreated it, and Executor is on front. So this Hitmonchan is dead for sure, whether they landed the coin or not. And Executor is Aerodactyl is out. So we're going to damage this. Hopefully they don't hit heads too much. So this is kind of a risk on their part. They have to heal this. Or they will be in the bad spot. Yeah, they used Erica. So hopefully they don't hit heads. Okay, yeah, so this is good. We aren't at risk of being killed by Celebi. So we have another Aerodactyl just in case. I'm putting Giant Cape so we don't get killed by Celebi. So they might retreat this Executor. Oh wow, so they might retreat this. And wow, so they don't have anything. I forgot that they can't retreat the Executor. So this is easy 2 points for us. And yep, I will use the another one because we can't afford to take the hit. If this Aerodactyl dies, we lose. So even though Executor is kind of a hard matchup for us, we're having a good fight. And that is 2 Ericas, by the way. So Alright, so we did get a bit lucky there. So it was average. So you can't call it lucky enough. Celebi won't always hit heads. Alright, so I wanted to damage the Celebi first, since they might have run out of Ericas and potions already. So this is a good chance. They also can't put Giant Cape on the Celebi, since they already have Rocky Helmet. Alright, so yep. I will take Riolu, take the hit, and Aerodactyl. So we are hoping for a top deck Lucario, and we have it. So I was playing for the top deck Lucario. So I think this was a good play on my part, and that's it for the Aerodactyl Lucario. So we're going second and starting with Riolu. And we're fighting Infernape. Okay, so this might be decent for us because Rampardos aligns with Lucario on this matchup. And we got the fossil, so it's all good. And research. Alright, so we also got the Poké Communication, so we can toss this to Riolu to find cranidos or rampardos. I will have to play it a bit later though, in case we drew another Pokemon. So they're also using Poké Communication, probably finding the Infernape already. This is quite bad actually because they can already kill Riolu the next turn. So I'm putting the Hitmonchan because of that. Yeah, they have Infernape already. The only good thing though is, the only good thing about this is they won't have any energy next turn. So this Hitmonchan can live. Unfortunately, they killed the fossil, but luckily we still have the other one. So I'm still putting it on Lucario because Rampardos only needs one energy anyway, or even Cranidos. So they will have to retreat this Infernape. Wow, they're really using all the Sabrinas. And I don't mind retreating this. Yeah, I don't mind retreating this. So I can find the Cranidos. Hopefully, yeah. And I can kill this Farfetch because Infernape won't have the energy, so they will use the Chimchar, and that's alright. Yeah, that's alright. Even if they kill this, as long as they aren't putting energy on Infernape, we're in a good spot. Rampardos can kill it. So this is power up Rampardos. Like the 50 damage in self-inflict doesn't matter. Alright, so we can kill this Infernape the next turn. So yeah, it looks really good. And yeah, even if they use this Farfetch, we will have 10 HP left if we kill it with this Rampardos. All good, yep, they conceded. Okay, we're starting with Riolu. So we're using the Gallade Lucario list, and they started with Heatran. Okay, so this can be a hard tank to beat. We had a Pokemon, all the Pokemons in the hand. I mean Pokemon. There's the plural of Pokemon is Pokemon. Sorry about that. And research. Wow, so we get a huge hand. The bad thing about this is I can't really use Hitmonlee to damage that Magnemite, since in 2 turns they can attack with this Hitran, so we can't afford to retreat this Riolu and use Hitmonlee. Yeah, so they're gonna kill the next Pokemon we go out. So since I don't want that to happen, I will let the Hitmonlee die. And I'm not evolving the to Gallade. Alright, so they will kill this Hitmonlee. Oh wow, so I will let the Riolu die. I can't afford Kirlia to die, and then we're gonna use Gallade. So they have Magnezone. They can charge it, but they won't be able to kill it. So this Gallade can kill the Magnezone with the help of Lucario. So these are one of the best things about using Lucario with Gallade. You can pretty much kill almost everything, even this Magnezone, with the help of the additional damage from fighting. So Gallade with Lucario still works. So as long as they don't have Giovanni, we're in a good spot. And yeah, we win because even if this Gallade dies, anyone who as long as the first one to kill gets the point, we still win. So yeah, as long as I get the point first, I win. So yep, that's a good sample for guide. You can also check out a written version of this guide in PTCG Pocket GG. And if you enjoyed this guide, why don't you check out my other guides as well, such as for Palkia in the video beside you. Thank you for watching.